agendas. It's our work session. Anyone have anything they want to discuss? I asked John Collins to be here today to explain to us a little bit about the RX system credit application. Knowing that we use Darwin's for prescriptions, I guess I was just a little bit confused by your
Right. What this is, we're getting called blister packs, bubble packs, no prescriptions at all they are, it's just an empty card. And what we'll do with these empty cards, we'll fill them ourselves with Tylenol, ibuprofen, and Benadryl. We buy bulk from the wholesaler.
Medical
Wholesaler
Incorporated.
We buy bulk and it saves so much money instead of Lonnie writing out prescriptions to get these blister packs full of these 3 items. So we're just going to fill them ourselves. All this is just the open blister packs that we'll fill. I think we're going to order our one order is 450 cards.
Okay.
By doing this is just setting up an account with them. We're going to purchase them the same way with DO, I believe, requisition sheet. So, yeah, it's not medication at all. We're just getting empty cards that we're going to fill ourselves.
And this is a credit application so that you can purchase those cards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, most any money that we order and charge from, as opposed to having to put it on MasterCard, Visa, or something like that, we have to set up a credit account with them. And I didn't, until John came in this morning, I really didn't know what it was for, what other supplies, because, I mean, they get little medicine cups, they get Band-Aids, they get all
Right.
sorts of things
Right.
from medical wholesalers, Inc. And I didn't know if this was someone replacing them, or with that RX and the title up, and it does sound like prescriptions, and I was concerned too, because we do have the agreement with Darwin.
Yes.
Prescriptions.
It's definitely not medication. It's
Okay.
just the card itself.
Okay.
This is a new initiative?
Yes.
So what are we doing currently in order to manage that?
Well, what we do currently, we provide indigent inmates with Tylenol,
Yeah.
ibuprofen, and Benadryl. And it's difficult right now because they come in bulk. We got this big tubs. If we have it where Lonnie can say, okay, I'm going to prescribe 30 pills next 30 days for this, we just make a card, put the inmate's name on it, and that goes with the med card. It's just a better way of tracking all the medication.
So it's just a card that tracks information, that's it?
What it is, it's a card. It's a blister pack is what it's called.
Uh-huh.
It's got a place to actually put the Tylenol in it.
Uh-huh.
So after it's loaded by the nurse, then there'll be 30 Tylenol tablets.
Uh-huh.
Then that'll go on the med card with the inmate's name and whatever time of the day the doctor wants them to have it.
Okay.
So it's kind of a sealed up pack that once you use it, it's done.
Yeah, I guess I got hung up on the card
Right.
title, like there's stuff in it, you know, and then you're marking
Oh, I
it
see.
when you're, yeah, okay.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
Appreciate your explanation. Judy's here, and there was a request made of us to borrow funds from the reserved bank account, Erie Bank, in order to fund our account because we're running lower than the 500,000 balance. It wasn't put on our agenda for a public meeting, so I did want to bring that up here, that Commissioners Eggleston and Kaplan have approved borrowing from that fund instead of drawing on our TAN.
I thought that you approved it too in an email.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No. My email said that I wanted to draw from the TAN.
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I apologize. What's your reasoning?
I feel that that's the logical choice. We've taken the TAN out for the reasons of borrowing in these circumstances. There's really no need to borrow from the Erie Bank Fund. That's just my...
Well, I mean, it saves us $200.
Well,
It saves 200, and yes, that may be true, although I feel that borrowing from that Erie Bank Fund, that's set aside and been reserved for projects. And I feel that once you start borrowing from that, it's difficult sometimes when you're low on funds to pay it back. And I just don't want to start that, opening that floodgate. I think that we have the TAN, we still have $1 million left on the TAN. Why are we not using the TAN?
So does it save a couple $100 and?
Oh, $200 is an elliptical machine.
Where did you come up with $200?
Well, it's $149 interest that we would have earned for the month on the Erie Bank account, but it's $398.
I can't remember, 3 something, yes. And that's if we took it for a full
For
month.
the TAN. And what Judy is saying is that we could pay back the Erie Bank fund relatively quickly with the influx of real estate tax payments coming in. If you can do that, then why not pay on the TAN? You know, why are we not
Just
using
to
the
save
TAN,
a
I
few
guess?
$100.
$200, you know,
That'll be a few months, maybe it's $600.
and it may not be, no, she's saying we should be able to pay it back relatively quickly. In my opinion, I think that this should have come up at a public meeting, and,
It's just an interloan transfer between our own accounts. It's not that big a deal.
well, we talk about our TAN funds and drawing on our TAN funds, then why aren't we talking about this?
Because that's not our account.
Well, I'm
It's the
curious.
bank's money that we're drawing down.
I'm curious, Cindy, what are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating anything.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I think the decision then is to draw from the Erie Bank account, and I think that's what we're gonna do.
Well, why would you ask me what I'm insinuating? I'm having a discussion here.
Well, then, I apologize for asking that question.
I just think it's only logical. We spent all this time and energy finding, putting out an RFP for locating a bank who would be interested in providing the TAN, and then we're not using it for its intended purpose.
We have used it for its intended purpose. We've drawn down $3.5 million from it.
And why are we not using it in this instance?
Just because we're near the end of the road and want to save a few $100 in interest.
So we haven't been concerned about the interest up until now?
Well, of course we are.
Well, then why
I
didn't
would
we
love
just
to
use,
not have to
why
draw
didn't
down
we
the
just
TAN.
use the Erie Bank funds in the first place then?
Because there's not enough. There's only like
There's
600,000.
That's right, but along the way, why has this never been done before?
We have drawn from this account before, haven't we?
No.
Maybe
It's been
before
done
our
previously.
administration. But yeah,
It's not been done in our term, no.
but it has been done previously, has it not?
I haven't seen it, but Denny said that it was done in the past.
Okay, well, we can move on. You two approved it, so that's the way it will be.
Mhm. It is.
Okay? Anyone have anything for the meeting?
Would you like to start, Ben, or should I?
Go ahead.
First off, I'd like to talk about the virtual hub, which is moving forward. Although the commissioners have been pretty busy the past month or two, dealing with a bunch of different issues, and that's kind of pushed off our ability to work on this. We have had a scheduled training session with a handful of people involved in the project. The next meetings will be with the 5 municipal secretaries involved in the project. They're going to be, they're going to be basically tasked with doing a project based on the utilization of the virtual hub. The virtual hub is basically a internet hub that's going to be set up off of our website hosting system, and the idea is going to be for municipalities to share information between each other and to have a forum in order to have frequently asked questions and a number of other things. We're working with secretaries from Pleasant Township, Sheffield, Sugar Grove, Youngsville, and I know I'm missing one. Pleasant. Pam's involved. Anyway, so we're going to be scheduling those meetings within the next 2 weeks. I had them scheduled previously, but then, with contract negotiations and some other things, that took up a lot of time. really looking forward to getting this project moved forward. It's something that we've labored on for a while now, and the secretaries are very excited about the possibility of utilizing this service. So that's one thing. Second thing is I'm in the process of meeting with all of the directors in order to kind of finalize or develop a plan in order to use, to collaborate with BEI in order to work with them on a variety of services within the courthouse. That's something that we're pretty close to, pretty close on. We just have to work with Dr. Clark and get to a place where everybody's comfortable with the work that's going to be done within the county. So that's going to be a good project. Trying to think what else. We've gotten an okay from the state hospital in order to put benches along the bike trail. This is a part of the ongoing project with planning and zoning and the Eagle Scout group that Dan Gloss is involved with. They have a provider that is going to develop benches. They have a plan to install them periodically throughout the bike trail. They were just waiting for some spots next to the soccer fields. One of the things we wanted to do was have benches next to the soccer fields so people could technically walk along the trail and then sit and watch soccer if they'd like. So that's that. I'm sure. Oh, then the other thing is I went to Elk County to St. Mary's a while ago to work at their recycling center. That went really well, but 2 Mondays ago, I got to go down to Tidiute and work in their recycling program in Tidiute. And I'm in the process of putting together a report related to that, but it was incredibly informative as it relates to the idea of generating a county recycling system. They have a really impressive process down there, and all of their equipment is either donated or they built it themselves. And I was just really impressed with that community's ability to put that program together. So I think it's really going to inform a lot of the stuff that we're going to potentially do with recycling going forward. So there's that. There's some other stuff, but that's enough of me.
Commissioner, will this be, will it take place of the inmates cleaning over here as well?
No, it'll be in collaboration with them. It's one of those things that I think that we're trying to figure out what works for everybody, and try to come up with a system that that'll complement what we do, complement what they want to do, and so Dr. Clark's done a good job of talking with a lot of the directors already, so some of them are aware of the situation, others have less of a level of awareness, so we want to try to make this a successful rollout if we feel like the plan's good.
They have like all of the equipment and supplies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Comparable to what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Were you interested, or is there an option to have them start cleaning what the inmates are doing right now?
No.
That's not an option in theirs?
Well, no. I mean, we want to keep the jail's programs in place.
If I was given the choice.
You get rid of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then you're another director that we need to talk to about it. Because I just figured that it was something that was, part of the
burden on you?
What's that?
Is it a burden?
Well, it's I have to designate a part-time officer to do it, and it's 4 hours. Actually, it's 2 hours for the courthouse, 2 hours for the administration and sheriff's office, which we could take that responsibility with just our night shift over there. But when I have to send somebody over here, I have to get a part-timer to come in. I mean, it's not horrible. I can continue to do it. I was just questioning, will that take place of what we do.
No.
Yeah.
Like as of right now, it won't, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, tentatively it doesn't sound like a, well, I mean, we could vet it, but.
We can have a conversation about it.
But you're saying that would be a cost savings measure
Yes.
on your end?
Yes. We would always be there to support anything they need, and if they can't make it one evening, we would do that without a doubt. But it would save a little bit with part-time hours.
Right. Conversely, we'd probably be paying the service provider an equal amount.
Right.
Well,
I thought that, so.
you're looking at a contract for work, I guess we could ask if that would add to the cost.
Yep. I think that that'll be a part of the, I think that since that's something that Warden Collins has expressed, that's something that we'll have a conversation about. See what information we can dig up on it.
I don't have anything.
I have a couple things. I went to the EOC Opportunity Council board meeting last Monday evening. There was a discussion about the Faith In and some changes that will be happening there. So we'll be hearing more about that soon. Still working on the strategic plan with the EOC, and we're getting down to our final meetings in regard to those, to coming up with a strategic plan process. So we've been working on that. Also, we had our first board meeting with Penn State Extension since January, last Tuesday. And we have they're going through a reorganization and restructuring of Penn State Extension. So that's the reason why we have not had board meetings since last January. The two new people brought on board, one is Melissa Sankey. She's their client relations manager. And Tony Siliano, he's their business operations manager. They now service Area 2. And the state has been divided up into 10 different areas. And we are the Area 2. And there are Warren, McKean, Potter, Forest, Elk, Cameron, Clearfield, Jefferson, and Clarion in Area 2. And it was a really good meeting. I feel that these two are going to be exactly what we need here in Warren for our Penn State Public Extension. They seem to have a really good handle on the direction they intend to go. One of the board members brought up, he is a grower here in Warren County, is the fact that we in Warren County don't have a cold storage facility. And he lamented about the fact that he needs to travel sometimes greater than an hour to get his products that are kept in cold storage. And he was wondering if the county could look into the potential of opening up or even doing a feasibility study on a cold storage facility here in Warren County. So I've gotten some more information from the state and communicating with them and looking into the possibility of doing a study to see if this would be something that could go over well in Warren. Some of the comments from the board at the time that this was discussed was we could then have the potential to have farm-to-table restaurants, maybe have a farmer's market all year round. So I thought it seemed like a really good idea, so I'm doing some looking into what it would take to bring something like this to Warren.
It does sound like a good project. You might want to bring it up with Chip Abramovich, Commissioner from Venango County, because he is working on a similar project.
Okay. Chip. Thank you. And then I asked what counties have storage facilities such as this. The one that they kept referring to was Adams County, which is, quite far away. But potentially Erie may have one, so I'm going to be calling up there next to see if they do have one, and I'll certainly touch base with Chip. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all I have. Anyone else? All right, I guess we'll adjourn.